I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption. Breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Hush. Be carefree lately, yeah. Just kicking up daisies. Got one too many quarters in my pockets. Count 'em like the 4-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah. Just tripping on daydreams. Got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep.
Trying to find my way back home. And Lord, just give me a sign, 'cause I've been fighting with my soul. I know I'll get better. I know I'll get better. Just give me some time. I'll get better. I know I'll get better. Just give me some time. I've been trying to find my way back home. And Lord, just give me a sign. 'Cause I've been fighting with my soul. I know I'll get better. I know I'll get better. Just give me some time. I'll get better. I know I'll get better. Just give me some time.
Hallo Leute, ich bin es und die Leitung steht. Yeah. Ich weiß, ihr hört nichts, aber ich habe hier echt coole Musik auf die Ohren. Ich werde das mal kurz umstellen. Leute, wartet kurz. Ein bisschen Lautstärke runterregulieren, sonst kriegen ihr nachher gleich platzende Ohren. So. Hier geht's los. Jetzt kriegt ihr noch den Ton rein. Oh, wir sind hier voll dabei. Könnt ihr alles hören? Also wie ihr seht, sind wir heute voll im Diablo 4 Fieber. Wir werden uns gleich zusammen das Entwickler-Update angucken. Und werden uns mal so ein bisschen darüber unterhalten vielleicht. Leute, ich bin so aufgeregt. Ich bin gespannt, was kommt und ich bin gespannt, was für Neuerungen es gibt und ich bin voll... Yay, der Tod ist da. Ich finde es gut. Hallo, Gräftiger. Danke für deinen Lurk. Sprudel, hallo. Hallo, Wonko. Clickfile. Moin, moin. Heute klappt der Stream. Ich bin echt dankbar. Wie geht's euch, Leute? Deswegen gestern tut mir wirklich verdammt leid, aber die Leitung war mies. Mein lieber Wonko hat mich daran erinnert, dass gestern Fußball lief. Das erklärt natürlich einiges. Einer mag keinen Fußball. Handball finde ich gut. Kommt auch bald hier. Januar, ne? Aber Fußball bin ich raus. Und daher hatte ich das nicht auf dem Schirm. Und daher, meine Lernung war Murks. Ich habe es neu versucht, aber es hat nicht funktioniert. Daher, Donnerstag läuft's. Und ich bin wirklich aufgeregt. Seid ihr auch schon gespannt, was so die Entwickler so uns zu sagen haben zu Diablo 4 und keine Ahnung, so viel Neues, so viel Tolles. Habt ihr euch das Spiel schon vorbestellt? Oder nee, Mr. Striker ist heute nicht unter meinem Namen unterwegs. Das war ja am Samstag nur, Sonntag nur, weil er die Regie gemacht hat. Als wir groß am Backen waren. Ja. Habt ihr euch das Spiel schon angeguckt? Habt ihr euch die Game Awards angeguckt und oder habt ihr euch das Spiel schon vorbestellt? Doch, Mr. Striker hier? Nee, geht ja gar nicht. Er ist ja auch nicht da. Der ist Essen holen. Also der ist einkaufen. Ich glaube, das nennt man Arbeitsteilung. Oh, ich finde das so cool, dass wir einen Timer haben, dass wir noch genau wissen, wie viel Zeit wir noch haben und wie viel noch... Oh. Ach. Ich weiß nicht, ob ihr es mitbekommen habt im Discord. Wir haben gestern noch ein Food-Porn-Kanal reingepackt, weil ich ja gestern auf die glorreiche Idee gekommen bin, meine Tomatensoße zu posten. Und ich habe mir gedacht, solche Sachen brauchen einen separaten Platz. Krieger Tiger hat das schon genutzt. Sehr schön. Und ja, ich versuche so oft wie möglich ein Foto von dem kleinen dicken Odin zu schießen. Ja, und euch zu zeigen, was für eine faule Haut er ist. Ja, schon alles gesehen und kein Interesse wegen Blizzards Geldpolitik. Ah, was soll ich dazu sagen? Hallo Chris. Nee, Odin ist die flauschige Katze. Mit dem blauen Auge und der rote Stupsnase. Rosa Stupsnase. Rot ist sie nicht. Sie hat ja nichts getrunken. Wie geht's dir, Chris? Nicht wundern, ich löffel hier mal so ein bisschen mein... Ja, ich bin gerade auch überrascht. Nee. Der ist gerade einkaufen, der ist gerade auf der Jagd, weißt du? So Futter. Uga mit Keule. Ich hoffe, er bringt keine andere Uschi mit. Nee, eher Rambo oder so. Ich trinke heute ausnahmsweise mal Cappuccino. Keule, Zombie spielt Vibes. Ja. Oder Neandertaler, wir wissen es nicht. Man muss aber auch sagen, momentan ist es so, dass Mr. Striker ein bisschen angeschlagen ist. Ich bin schon überlegen, einen Kranz zu bestellen und einen Fonds aufzumachen für Spenden für sein vielleicht Ableben. Seine Mutter ist auch schon informiert. Ich weiß, ich bin gemein. Aber er musste sich gestern einiges anhören. Okay, 10 Euro für einen Kranz von mir. Okay. Ja, er war gestern sehr... Oh, ich fühle mich nicht gut. Ich glaube, ich war krank. Ja. Und dann habe ich ihn erstmal mit Globostat und Azetiolslöser und wollte ihn auch noch erkältungstechnisch einschmieren, aber das wollte er dann nicht. Er hat sich dann beschwert, dass ich ihn mit zu viel Zeug sich dann so... Ich habe keine Lust auf eine Wasserleiche auf dem Sofa. Ich weiß, ich bin gemein. Ein bisschen. Ach, Sprudel. Habe ich auch gehofft, Wonko. Ich habe auch gehofft, er wird ein Mitspieler. Aber ich finde es trotzdem schön, wenn er trotz allem hier bleibt und ja, auf Sprudel möchte ich nicht mehr verzichten. Ich lege mal einen Löffel ab, ne? Ich weiß, es gehört sich nicht. Aber ich mag so gern den süßen Schaum von dem Dings. Enttäuschung nicht. Ich meine, du hast deinen Standpunkt und der ist auch vollkommen nachvollziehbar, total in Ordnung. Du bist nie eine Enttäuschung, Sprudel. Egal, was du sagst und was ist vollkommen egal. Ich bin froh, dass du da bist. Und vielleicht gibt es ja wirklich für den Xbox Game Pass irgendwann mal die Möglichkeit, dann gibt es das für Umme, dass du es mal reintesten kannst. Und dann sind wir da. Und springen dir helfen zur Seite. Versprochen, Sprudel. Wie, Chris, du hast keine Ahnung. Ich habe gedacht, wir zocken dann eine Runde. Ja, Chris, brauchst du irgendwas? Geht's dir gut? Dich bereits das gerade... Vielleicht können wir das jetzt ändern mit dem hier, was da kommt. In 25 Minuten. Ich würde auch so gerne eine Runde mit dir zocken. Weil Minecraft bin ich raus. Hallo Blue Eye Dragon. Niklas, hallo. Mir geht's super, danke. Ich hoffe dir auch und du hattest eine schöne Woche bisher. Der Tag heute war teuer mit Lohn, was heute kam. Ui, okay. Aber ist es denn nicht eher teuer für deinen Arbeitgeber? Ja, Majemme ist super. Was geht schon wieder doppelt? Also diese Sound-Alerts sind echt böse. Hei, 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 hei. Wilde Sache. Hallo Froggy. Du kannst es nicht verstehen. My English is not the yellow from the egg. I do my best, you know? Froggy, wie geht's dir? Geht's dir besser? Oh no, yes. Ja, dein Urin habe ich gesehen, der war voll süß. Ich habe sogar ein Smiley drunter gesetzt. Ich mag Hunde und ich mag auch Katzen. High five. Sehr schön. Herzlichen Glückwunsch. Ich kann aber auch draußen bleiben jetzt. Kai hat jemanden im Geschäft, der hatte das dieses Jahr schon 3-mal. Oh, ich freue mich so, dass ihr alle da seid. Wenn man keine anderen Hobbys hat. Ja, welche? Also ich stricke, ich lese, ich höre gern Musik. Aber wir machen hier keine Annonce, ja? Ich ärgere gerne andere Leute. Kann man das als Hobby zählen? Und natürlich zocke ich gerne. Als Corinna, ach so. Ich wollte jetzt gerade eine... Nee, ist okay. Ich sag mal so, ich brauche es nochmal. So sehe ich das auch. So sehe ich das auch. Ich dachte, du hast doch das Karaoke, du Wongo, das ist eher, das kann man nicht als Hobby Karaoke bezeichnen. Ich würde eher sagen, ich quäle gerne meine Mitmenschen mit meiner nicht so schönen Stimme. Ich habe heute 200, dass mein Tattoo am Rücken fertig ist. 100 für Deluxe Edition vorbestellt. Für PS. Wow. Ach du Scheiße. Also Tattoo bin ich voll bei dir. Geht immer. Ja. Rich Guy. Mhm. Hattest du denn nur noch so einen kleinen Fleck am Rücken oder so? Weil 200 Euro? Da warst du relativ günstig dran. Aber da hast du ordentlich reingepaid. Himmelosch. Okay. Aber für den ganzen Rücken. Kathi singt mega schön. Schön schräg. Natürlich. Naja, aber Hauptsache schön. So much beautiful. Also für den gesamten Rücken. Dann war das trotzdem sehr, 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 sehr günstig. Ich habe für meinen Oberschenkel 400 bezahlt. Und na okay, ich bin jetzt... ich habe ein bisschen viel Oberschenkel. Ja, sagen wir es jetzt mal so. Aber 400 Euro fand ich schon wirklich, wirklich günstig. Ich habe einen super Sparpreis gekriegt. Weil normalerweise Rücken, ich habe mal einen Kostenvoranschlag gemacht, weil ich ja auch mal die Idee hatte, mir den Rücken, ne? Ist ja genug Platz da. Ich hätte mindestens 2000 Euro zahlen müssen. Da habe ich so gesagt, nö. Heute nicht. Und was hast du für Motiv, also so auf deinem Rücken dann? Ich hoffe, kein Einhorn. Oh, ich habe schon wieder so komische Ideen, ne? Ich hatte mir gedacht, ich mache mir eine Eule auf den Rücken. So im Nacken. Naja, komplett Rücken nicht, aber der Drachenkopf im Tribal-Format, naja, mittig. Ja. Wenn du magst, kannst du mir so PN-technisch ja mal ein Bild zukommen lassen, wenn du magst. Ich mag Tattoos, ich liebe Tattoos. Startet heute die Open Beta? Nein, sie startet nicht. Wir kriegen heute ein Entwickler-Update. Uns werden ein paar Sachen erklärt. Vielleicht haben wir auch Glück und bekommen noch ein Video und werden uns heute so ein bisschen schlau machen. Aber voll, dass du bei Diablo 4 am Start bist, kann man dann Cosplay zwischen PC und PS? Ja. Ich freue mich über jeden, der die 4 spielt. Aber ich verstehe es auch, wenn jemand sagt, es ist mir zu teuer oder es hat mich nicht mitgenommen oder keine Ahnung. Ich denke, das ist immer so eine... Es muss jeder nach seinem eigenen Ermessen. Genau, Wonko. Heute geht es darum, wie man die Eigenschaften extrahiert, transferiert und sich super Items baut. Vielen, vielen Dank. Ich rede wieder zu viel, ne? Wie vorhin. Schlimm, 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 schlimm. Ich bin echt gespannt. Und Lilith sieht echt böse aus. Also Leute, ich werde versuchen, nachher so ein bisschen mit zu übersetzen. Mal gucken, ob ich es hinkriege. Weil die Problematik ist, Englisch verstehen ja, sprechen nö. Weil ich ein bisschen immer Sorge habe, dass ich immer was falsch sage. Deswegen gucken wir uns den Stream hier natürlich auf Englisch an. Ich werde gucken, ob, wenn Fragen sind, ob ich die beantworten kann. Ich hoffe auch auf Hilfe von Leuten vielleicht aus dem Chat, dass wir hier das zusammen verstehen und gucken, wie das läuft. Muss ja kein Englisch sprechen, deutsche Übersetzung reicht. Ja, 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 ich versuch's. Wenn ich wüsste, wie das ging, gerne. Ich glaube, ja, es wurde gesagt, dass es übergreifend funktionieren soll. Ich denke, wir werden es wissen, wenn es soweit ist, spätestens. Ich hoffe ja immer wieder auf so ein paar gestreute Infos. Und ja. Aber es wird sicherlich vieles möglich sein. Solange es nicht auf dem Handy kommt, ist alles gut. Speaking English under the pick. Hm. Ja. Ach so. Darum ging's. Hm. Bist doch bestimmt auf unserem Discord-Server, oder? Oder nicht? Ja, ja. Aber... Aber ich finde mein Englisch is not the yellow from the egg einfach ein bisschen sympathischer. Weiß auch nicht. Oh, ist das nicht schön? Ich weiß nur, dass es Play hätte. Okay. Yellow of the egg is called York. Jolk. Jolk. Nee, das ist mir egal. Es soll ja eine Umschreibung sein. So. Hey, ein Goblin. Wo denn? Ich bin so gespannt. Die Zeit könnte ruhig ein bisschen schneller rumgehen, ne? Finde ich. Naja, ich kann ein bisschen... Spreche so wie die Gosch gewachsen ist. Ja, mache ich sowieso. Ich meine, ich kann ein bisschen Englisch, ich kann ein bisschen Dänisch, ich kann ein bisschen Russisch. Ein bisschen Russisch ist hängen geblieben. Französisch weiß ich zumindest, was Kartoffel heißt. Ich bin total talentiert. Glaube ich. Nicht. Habt ihr denn irgendwelche Pommes de terre? Ja, Apfel der Erde. Pommes de terre. Pommes ist Apfel, de terre ist die Erde. Das ist das Einzige, was ich behalten kann. Habt ihr den Erdapfel? Genau. Erdapfel. So kann man das aussagen. Hallo? Freut ihr euch auf irgendwas von diesem Entwickler-Update so richtig? Oder findet ihr alles interessant? Oder lasst uns reden. Also ich bilde jetzt hier keinen Stuhlkreis, ne? Wir warten hier einfach und zählen die Uhr runter. Ich könnte auch ganz stur auf das Ding gucken, aber ich denke, das wird dann trotzdem nicht schneller gehen. Nee, nee. Abwarten und mit nicht zu großen Hoffnungen rein. Die Strategie finde ich gut. Aber ich muss dir sagen, das, was ich bisher gesehen habe und gehört habe, könnte es richtig Spaß machen. Es wird halt nicht so bunt wie D3. Französisch spreche ich, weil es eine Land... Ja, du, ich finde das total faszinierend. Ich finde Französisch an sich, so vom Klang her, echt mega. Der Bausatz von Mr. Striker, der lernt gerade Französisch und ist da schier am Verzweifeln. Aber ich kann dir da nicht großartig helfen, weil... Ich will ja auch nichts Falsches beibringen, weißt du? Ich finde halt, wenn du mehrere Sprachen, Muttersprachen hast, finde ich das mega. Aber ich bin halt nur... Ich bin in Mecklenburg-Vorpommern aufgewachsen und bin jetzt so im Schwabenland. Das ist alles, was ich an Sprachen so alltäglich so irgendwo mitnehme. Ich kann nur die wichtigsten Sätze, Wörter. Die darf ich hier aber nicht schreiben. Oh. Du meinst Kurva. Mr. Striker ist wieder da. Ich distanziere mich. Okay. Ich habe gar nichts gesagt. Gar nichts. Französisch, Deutsch, Luxemburgisch und Englisch. Wahnsinn. Ja, bei mir sind immer nur ein paar Fetzen hängen geblieben. Ich weiß, dass auf Dänisch Aschenbeer Eskebeer heißt. Tag heißt Danke. Ja, und dann wird es auch schon schwierig. Und so im Englischen sieht es im Russischen auch aus. Ich habe da so viel... Ah, was für ein Arschbär. Wer? Wo? Aber es sind so Sachen, da sind so Brocken hängen geblieben, aber nicht, dass ich da wirklich mit umgehen könnte. Im Englischen ist es so, ich gucke mir auch englische Filme an und englische Serien, ist gar kein Thema. Ich verstehe auch alles, weil ich halt das kleine Talent habe, dass ich mir das sehr gut zusammenbasteln kann, die Bruchstücke. Eskebeer. Eskebeer. Nicht Arschbär. Und Russisch ist halt auch, da ist nicht viel hängen geblieben. Minja Savut Kati. Adin Dva Tri, Четыре Пять. Koschka heißt Katze. Mleko heißt Milch. Milch. Kakte Piasavut. Ja, das war's aber auch, glaube ich schon. Ich glaube, ich bin nicht sehr sprachtalentiert. Aber wie gesagt, dafür singe ich ganz gut schief. Wie kackt der Bär gut? Kackte Biasavut. Wie heißt du? Minjasavut Kati. Obwohl es eigentlich eher wahrscheinlich Katinka heißen würde. Mein Name ist Kati, ja. Oh. Wie gesagt, so Sprachtalent, so habe ich nicht. Ich kriege ja kaum das Deutsche zusammen. Im nüchternen Zustand schief und am angeheiterten gerade oder wie? Bestimmt. Die war gut. Es wäre auch komisch, wenn man die nicht nutzen würde. Sehe ich ähnlich. Eigentlich sehen die immer schief. Aber man muss sagen, man ist hemmungsloser, wenn man was getrunken hat. Aber ich brauche nicht unbedingt was trinken, um ein bisschen doof zu sein. Ich habe schon viele... Nastrovje. Ja, Skoll. Ich habe schon viele Leute sehr in Bedrängnis gebracht. Ich weiß bis heute nicht wie und warum, aber es haben viele gesagt, nee, die kenne ich nicht. Und sind dann so 3 Meter hinter mir oder vor mir gelaufen. Ich bin halt manchmal ein bisschen schwierig. Um blöde zu sagen, genau. Es ist manchmal sogar gefährlicher, nicht zu trinken. In Anführungsstrichen. Weil mir kommt so eine Gehirngrütze, die... Ja. Es gibt da sehr epische Geschichten dazu, die ich nicht erzählen werde. Na, vielleicht doch, wenn ich irgendwann mal Geburtstag habe und alt und grau bin. Erzähl mal. Ich hab Zeit. Ich glaube, das wäre nicht gut. Dann seid ihr ganz schnell weg. Den Ruf, ich hab einen Ruf zu... Nee, habe ich nicht. Ich habe keinen Ruf zu verlieren. Erzähle ich euch denn zu meinem Geburtstag. Ist noch ein bisschen hin. Gott sei Dank. Aber bald. Oh Gott. Oh. Soll ich ein bisschen lauter machen?
Today we fight true in his holy name. Blessed be the light.
I have returned to hell for you.
Ich höre nichts. Ich glaube, die haben keinen Ton. Ich glaube, die stellen sich gerade vor.
I'm joined here by Joe Shelley, who's the game director for Diablo 4, and then I have Joseph Pipora, who's the associate game director of Diablo 4. Obviously, this is like I said, our first live stream here,
Die sind aufgeregt.
live at Blizzard right now that we're doing for
live
Diablo
in the
4.
cave.
Live in the cave.
We're here.
You guys are seeing it for the first time. This is our brand new studio that we'll be doing live streams from going forward. You probably recognize some familiar things in the background as well. We have like Bale back here from the Diablo 2 Resurrected commercial that we actually did with Simu Liu and Winston Duke, which was really cool. We got like the giant Diablo skull in the background. Our skate deck, I'm like trying to point in random directions right now as I look at myself on this
Einmal
monitor.
mit Profis.
And then, of
Die schaffen
course,
das schon, denke ich.
Lilith's right here. And what's cool, and behind Joe's head, we actually have a giant treasure goblin.
Treasure goblin.
It's the mascot.
Oh, it's right.
for
Yeah.
Sneaking up on
for
me.
Team Diablo there, especially in our building here at Blizzard. But as you guys know, we've been doing developer quarterly update blogs since the announce back in 2019 with Diablo 4. And this is kind of our new format going forward. We're actually going to be doing more and more developer update live streams as we head towards launch for D4 and even post-launch. But this gives us the opportunity of being able to connect with the community, hear from the devs,
Sie werden das
straight
jetzt
from them,
regelmäßig machen.
through a fun format like live streams. So please excuse our mistakes and slip-ups. I promise you we'll have them. It's the best part about doing live streams and so forth.
The live part.
The live part, exactly. But at the same time, what's great about these is that you guys will be able to hear more and more from the developers behind the scenes and hear their stories about how they are working on the game and what they're working on. So in future live streams, we'll have more information and more details about Diablo 4 before we head into launch. But yeah, I know we have a lot of stuff that we actually did announce over the past week. And Joe, I think it would be like a great opportunity for us to kind of dive in and kind of talk more about like what's occurred over the past couple weeks.
Yeah, the past couple weeks have been, really the culmination of the past year of getting the game, getting all the content into the game, testing the game. We've had test after test this year, internal tests, the closed beta endgame test, which was, we wanted to test our endgame to make sure that we have a chance to tune it and polish it before launch.
Yeah.
Better to test it before
As early as
launch.
possible, right?
Including the previews, the press previews that we did. Some of the press got to play and community got to play a little bit before the Game Awards, and then of course we had the Game Awards moment that really capped off the year and brought in. We had the monks take over the Game Awards. There in LA, we had that wonderful opening where everything got dark and you sort of had a little bit of mystery about what was going to happen, and then of course Halsey performing.
Yeah, the Halsey moment was amazing, and this image was so cool. This is actually a picture she ended up taking right before the Game Awards performance, holding the Diablo skull. It's incredibly like iconic in terms of how it was.
Oh, it looks
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I had no idea she was
Also wir werden hier noch
I
einige
love
mehr
how
solche
there's this
Livestreams
statue
haben.
of Lilith holding the Diablo
Das
skull.
finde ich
Yeah,
gut.
yeah, and she is a huge Diablo fan. She said her first Diablo game was actually D2. So it's pretty cool to be working with her and having her perform her song Lilith there at the Game Awards and having that cool moment as we led into the reveal of the trailer, and of course the big announcements at the Game Awards being the release date for Diablo 4, which is, we can finally say,
That's right.
which is June 6, 2023. And during that announcement, we also ended up opening up pre-orders for the game. And we have multiple different versions for people to pre-order online or on the Xbox Store or on PlayStation Store. But we've also gotten some questions regarding the actual different versions, and I think we want to just kind of like go through a few of them so we can kind of detail out exactly what people will end up getting for each of the different versions of the game. I know that the first version, obviously, is the standard edition of the game itself. And if you end up pre-ordering any copy of the game, you do get early access to open beta.
Yeah, so
right.
it doesn't matter what version of the game you get, as long as you pre-order it, you're gonna get early access to the open beta.
Exactly, and pre-ordering the standard version of the game, comes with benefits in it itself of like within Diablo 3, Diablo Immortal, some cosmetics, and of course it comes with the a mount in D4. And I think one of the coolest things is this World of Warcraft mount. And I have to give a huge shout out to the WoW team here. They absolutely killed it. I've been using this around Valdraxis myself while playing Dragonflight. It just looks so cool. And it does come with the pre-ordering the game in itself. And if you get
Also es
pre-order
sind die
PC,
Sachen, die du bekommen
you
kannst,
actually get
wenn
it
du
now. And
das
if you pre-order on
vorbestellst.
console, you'll end up getting it at launch with console. And you
Für
can link your Battle
World
Pass
of
account.
Warcraft, die
Yeah, and
3
you know, that
und
mount is
Immortal.
based on a character in
Lüge
Diablo
sehen schon
4.
nice aus, ja.
Yes. Spoilers.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Ich finde halt, sie
But
sehen aus wie
yeah,
Tentakel.
we won't spoil everything, but yes, it most definitely is. And then there is the digital deluxe version of the game, and we also have an ultimate version of the game. But with the digital deluxe version of the game, you do actually get early access to the launch of the game, which is really awesome. And
Ja.
it ends up coming with an additional mount in D4.
Und die kannst du dir
And of
runterladen
course,
am
it also does
31.12.
come with the battle pass in itself, the premium battle pass for the game. And I know we have an image here for the ultimate version of the game as well, which comes, with the emote.
That's right, the wings of the wings emote, which will allow you to have Inarius wings in
Flügel-Emote.
the game, show them off in town with your remote button.
Yeah, and we've gotten some questions from the community that we wanted to talk about regarding the
Yeah.
at least with the premium battle pass itself, because I think there's questions related to pricing of what the battle pass is going to be. It is going to be $10 in US dollars in
Der Battle
in-game
Pass wird
currency value
10
for the premium
Dollar
battle pass. So you
kosten.
get that included with the digital deluxe and the ultimate version. The ultimate version does come with like the tier skips and so forth. But then, and there's also questions related to early access for the digital deluxe and the ultimate version, because I think some people were wanting to know, like, oh, does that come with with early access? Does that mean I have like a massive leg up on people? And I know you guys wanted to talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah, so I think there are two points there. One is getting early access to the game's release that you get through the deluxe version or the ultimate edition. And the thing I want to be clear about is that the game will not be launching in season 1. Season 1 will arrive weeks after the launch of the game.
Okay,
And
die Season
when
beginnt
season 1
erst
starts, everyone will be starting at the same time.
ein
Everyone
paar
will have
Wochen
an even playing
nachdem
field.
das
And,
Spiel
a
veröffentlicht
lot of our
wurde.
competitive features like leaderboards and those kinds of things are going to show up in seasons. So folks who get early access to the game will get to check it out early, but you don't have to worry about any unfairness in terms of seasons.
Also es wird
And I know
keine,
with like the
es
premium
wird
battle
nicht
pass and
unfair
so
sein,
forth,
weil keine
there's
Season
like
startet
some questions tied to
und
like,
man
season
einfach nur
journey
die
and
Chance
everything.
hat, 4 Tage
Yeah,
früher
this is a good actually. I'm
reinzugucken.
glad we have an opportunity to kind of talk about this a little bit. So there's, I think there's confusion about the distinction between the battle pass and the idea of the season journey. And the season journey is still in Diablo 4 in the same way that you found it in Diablo 3, and that it's a kind of a chapter-based mechanic that as players are progressing through the season, able to complete these various objectives tied to each chapter. We've made some updates to the way the feature works. You'll be earning like rewards for your character as you go through the process for this, but
Also
you'll also be earning
die
favor
Season-Reise
by
in
completing
dem Sinne
chapters
wird
of the
genauso
season journey.
laufen wie bei
That
Diablo
favor is what
3.
drives some of the progression for the battle pass itself. So just by playing through the game normally and completing some of these objectives and earning these rewards for your character, you'll also be progressing your battle pass more quickly, which is great because even if you don't buy the battle pass, and there are still many like items in the battle pass that are still available for free, you'll just get access to as you rank up the battle pass anyway. So even if you don't spend the $10 to purchase the premium battle pass, you'll still get some minor cosmetics and a few like gameplay like boosts that you'll be able to earn during the course of that experience. But even those boosts, like let's say you get the accelerated version of the battle pass, a few extra tier skips that come with the game initially when you start playing in season 1, which is again when the battle pass would actually start.
Yeah.
Like these gameplay boosts have a character level requirement attached to them in addition to the tier requirement. So just if you've managed to purchase a few tiers, or if you progress that more quickly, you'll still have to have a character with the appropriate level to make use of any of those things. It's really, really important to us that we balance the things that you can find in the battle pass in a way that they're compelling but still very fair. We don't want to have any situations where players can feel that they can pay to win.
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course, all of the seasonal.
Sie haben schon
content,
versucht, dass die Leute
is
nicht denken, es
completely
ist Pay
free,
to Win.
and it's not attached to the battle pass itself.
Yeah, we're
that's
gonna
the
we're gonna
Der
definitely
Content
do
ist
another one of
frei und
these streams
es-
at some point. Just talk about like season 1 and maybe seasons more generically. And we've done some we've had like blog posts and things. We've talked about this more recently. But to reiterate, like seasonal content, like our big season updates, are all completely free. They're filled with new
Alle
like,
Updates
progression
sind
mechanics,
free.
new monsters
Okay.
to fight, new challenges, new quests and content to go and consume. There's a lot to look forward to. All of that is completely comes with the box price of the game you've already purchased.
Also es wird
and
keinen
as,
Aufpreis geben
Joseph
für
just mentioned here, like
also
if you want to learn more about the battle pass itself, feel free to like check out our blog back in August, where we kind of detail out a lot of our plans on that. And of course, we do plan on talking more about seasons here in the future, because people are going to want to know what season 1 is about, and we'll have more information as we get closer to launch.
And we're
on
excited
that.
to talk about it, frankly. 'Cause
Yeah.
we're-
And there's some incredible cosmetics in the
Yeah.
battle pass.
yeah,
I'm
there's
super
really
excited.
cool cosmetics in the battle pass, but no power. You have to pay for.
Yep, no power.
It's Mythics,
and
keine
then
Power.
the next big thing that I do want to also mention, of course, with the pre-ordering all the different games, is the collector's box. And I know we've seen a lot of chatter about this because of like all the cool items and so forth in it. We did want to, we have an image right here. I mean, it looks amazing. We did want to clarify in the pricing of the collector's box. Right now, it is priced at $96.66, and it will be available on the Gear Store in North America, EU, UK, and Latin America after the stream itself. And then in Australia, New Zealand, and in Korea, they will have those available at select retailers for people to actually pre-order as well. So there is going to be options here for people to check out or
Also knapp
purchase the actual
70.
collector's box. There is one other question that I know that a lot of people are have asked about, like, hey, does this actually come with a copy of the game? It doesn't. This is just a collector's box of all the items that are inside, like collectible items that people would want related to D4. But this also gives you a little bit of flexibility too, because you can actually end up getting a standard version of the game and a collector's box if you prefer, or you can get the ultimate version of the game and the collector's box. So you can kind of mix and match depending on exactly what you specifically want for your own needs, because you may be like wanting all the collectible items, and as opposed to all the digital items or so from that end. But what's even cooler is that we actually have a collector's box here.
Yeah.
You do.
So we do want to show it off for the first time.
Look at this.
Yeah, this thing's
Whoa.
massive.
This thing is massive.
So we're gonna go through a few of the items here. This right here obviously is the box with like the gates of hell opening up, and it actually
Like
does.
trying to adjust it for the cameras to make sure people can really see.
Exactly. Professional hand models here.
Oh
everyone.
clearly we're very good at this in particular. But it's really neat that like even like it just opens up like the gates, and I think there's a plan to do more. Have like
Correct.
more of
Yeah.
an unboxing video.
We're gonna show off some items here, but then after this stream, we are most definitely hoping you guys actually check out the Diablo YouTube channel, because the Diablo YouTube channel itself is gonna have a full unboxing of all the items and give you like a little bit of a closer look and details and so forth. But we do
denke auch,
want to
ja.
show off what we can here for sure.
Yeah. So the first thing we have is like one of these prints. Right?
Correct. Yeah, well, there's 2 different prints that actually come, or actually I guess almost 3 different prints that do come with the collector's box in itself. Of course, some people may be familiar with some of this
Skinny hat
concept
gesagt,
art that
holt
we've
sich
actually
die.
shown off in the past, and now you'll have your own map prints of those. And then we have another one down here. Of,
More here.
Ist der
of
Striker?
this loving couple,
Yeah. It's the happy couple, right?
the Inarius Lilith combo here of the concept art between both of them. Inarius in chains there.
Yes. Again, so cool. We'll look at these characters this way.
And then we have
There's
the
like things. There's things.
yeah, we have the Haradrim
Yep.
pen as well, which is really cool. And I you can be like Tyrael now, I guess. Tyrael now in the story.
Yeah, this is so cool because we had to build the Haradrim. The Haradrim are a key part of the story of Diablo 4, and so we needed to design a symbol that appeared in game that was really iconic and part of a symbol of their order. And it turned out to be quite important. And so we decided to make this this physical pin so that you could kind of
Be part of the secret
part
club.
Of it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
There you go.
So you too could join an order of secret demon hunters going across Sanctuary, trying to keep things safe.
Exactly.
This is actually one of my absolute favorite things here that we're about to show. I want to make sure that I actually get it the right side up. I did not.
There we go.
I did.
There we go. Live.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the cloth map here of, and what I think the coolest part about this is actually a full representation of like the areas you'll be playing in Diablo 4.
That's right. We, when we went to build the world of Sanctuary for Diablo 4, one of the things we wanted to do is make sure that the game map had the feel of the kind of map that you would have that people made when they thought maybe there were a bunch of serpents in the water.
Right.
And so it was so cool to build all of that art for the map, and then getting to actually represent that as a physical object in the cloth map is so cool. And there are even more embellishments on this map. A lot of the art there at the bottom and all around the outside.
Yeah, and the framing is so cool. Like Lilith's up at the top and like kind of center frame there, and then of course, like we mentioned, like there's points in the game like Skazgland, Dry Steps, etc. that are represented in the map that you'll actually be able to see. And when you open up the map in Diablo 4, it's essentially this, which is awesome. So
Yeah, I'm just a huge D&D and RPG nerd, so like anytime a game has a cloth map that comes with it, like I'm just so ecstatic to be able to just hang that up someplace and just put it somewhere.
Schon cool.
So I'm really stoked to see that we actually have this. And then we have
there's more.
there's certainly more. We have the art book, which is massive.
Yes.
Here you go, Adam.
Oh,
Let
yes.
me hand that to you awkwardly.
Yeah, I will attempt to flip through
Accept it awkwardly. Yeah.
But yeah, it's got it in itself. It's a bunch of different art that obviously the team has been working on within the game and so forth, and led by our wonderful art director John Mueller.
right.
But yeah, it's pretty awesome. I'm so sorry. There's like super glare.
Somewhat glossy. It's very nice.
Glossy pages, everyone. It looks great. But yeah, this thing is
Die
massive.
gibt's
It's
jetzt nach dem
super
Stream.
heavy.
Kannst du sie kaufen.
It's hundreds of pages here.
I mean,
which
just
is
like
really
just
cool.
it's that's how thick it is, right? Like this is a lot of art. It's really cool. And we can
Yeah,
only show you a little bit of it.
And honestly, if you've like ever pre-ordered like a collector's edition or anything like that from other Blizzard titles like World of Warcraft and everything, the art books from all the art teams here have always been so phenomenal.
Jetzt wollte er schon die Kerze
and that's just
zeigen.
another, so
That's not the last piece here. We have
Yes.
this. We have the candle.
yes,
Wow.
the Candle of Creation here is
Yeah.
included. This is kind of like the main centerpiece for the collector's box in itself. This thing is really awesome. It's pretty hefty too, and it's great because it's double-sided here, so you can kind of choose sides depending on what you would want. Lilith on one side and Narius on the other.
Didn't we
You
just
know?
do like a Twitter poll for like Team Lilith and Team Anarius?
We did, and I will say the results blew me away because I think if you asked me like a month ago, I would have said Team Lilith would have been just
Would have crushed,
dominating. Yeah, but
Gar
it
keiner,
ended at a
glaub ich.
50-50 split. So there are most definitely a good mixture of fans between Anarius and Lilith.
Ich glaube, die ist auch
but,
nicht zum Anzünden.
yeah, the candle itself is really cool. There's a ton of detail on the actual base as I'm covering it with my hand.
Yeah.
Hand model, everyone.
Mhm.
And then, of course, it's even got some extra details here on
Aber
the
ist schon
bottom
cool.
specifically.
Fallen skulls. You can really see some of the detail of Anarius pauldrons.
It's almost hard. It's hard to show off the level
Yeah.
of detail, but thankfully we have a video later. We'll talk about some of these things. And we have
Exactly.
some
Yeah.
images going up as well.
Yeah, and it's got because this is an electric candle in itself. This is not like something that will just disappear after using it for so
Right.
many uses and so forth. But it is battery
Hallo,
operated. There's a switch
Raffi.
on the side and so forth. But you can then have it either on your desk while you're working, or and you can flip it from side to side.
Heißer
depending
Scheiß.
on which
That's right.
who you want to be in favor with.
Mondays with Lilith and Tuesdays with Anarius.
Exactly. So yeah, this is the collector's box itself. As I said, we will have an unboxing on our YouTube channels immediately after the live stream. So make sure to check that out. And pre-orders should be going live after this live stream on the Gear Store. So, and that is in again North America, Latin America, Europe and the UK. And then in Australia and Korea, it will be available at certain retailers. So make sure to keep your eyes peeled
Du musst
for
los.
those specific regions and where those details are going to be. So this is the collector's box. So it's actually really cool. Super excited. I'm sad I'm not going to be able to like immediately run over and pre-order it
Ja,
itself.
wie?
We got to do this.
I got to do this. But we actually have a lot of other things to talk about. As you guys know from the Game Awards and what you probably saw in the beginning of the live stream. Speaking of which, I do want to apologize for our counter. It clearly looks like Belial has gotten to our counter at the beginning of the live stream. It was moving a little slow. Lord of Lies most definitely has taken advantage of it. But we did start perfectly on time. But at the Game Awards, we did reveal the new cinematic for Diablo 4.
Yeah.
And I think this would be just one more a good refresher, just in case if you're jumping into the live stream now or if you haven't taken a look at it. I've seen it a million times, but let's take another look at the Inarius and Lilith trailer.
Wir werden sehen, Raffi. Ich glaube knapp $70. Ich gehe kurz in die Werbung, ich bin gleich wieder da. Ich lasse euch das laufen.
May we fight true in his holy name. Blessed be the light.
I have returned to hell for you.
That a million times and probably like half the views on YouTube in it itself.
Are you?
I am. I am boosting the YouTube viewership all by myself. It honestly is probably one of my most favorite cinematics that our SFT team has worked on here.
It's
at
incredible.
Blizzard. It's incredible. I think it'd be good to like kind of help inform the community because I know a lot of people. If you follow Diablo, you know who like Lilith and Inarius are, but then there's a lot of questions related to like who is Lilith, who is Inarius, how important are they within the Diablo universe, and it'd be kind of like great to give a little primer on that.
Yeah, so, Diablo 4 focuses on the world of Sanctuary, and it's the world itself was created by Inarius and Lilith. You know, the universe of Diablo, there's this eternal conflict between heaven and hell, with the angels
Danke, Raffi.
on one side and the demons on the other side. And Inarius and Lilith got tired of this and wanted to have a third way, and they created the world of Sanctuary where the humans live, and Diablo 4 takes place.
They sort of abandon their responsibility, sort of, right? Like they're expected to continue this war.
Well, that's certainly the take of the demons and the angels both. Yeah, absolutely. And so, you know, these two characters, these two antagonists, are a central part of the story as you adventure through the world of Sanctuary. These two founders, who do not see eye to eye at this point, certainly, are a key part of the story that will unwind.
Yeah, so being able to like explore like Lilith as a character, explore Inarius' characters and like their motivations, kind of what led them to where they are now and why things are blowing up the way they are, yeah, definitely very important to the overall story. Very cool to explore as well.
Yeah, and I think like the cinematic showcases like amazing moments, especially for Inarius. I mean, he's very much, you know, center stage for kind of the first time that people really get to see or experience him in a Diablo game, beyond just like the lore, the discussions, and so forth. And I think like just seeing his power and what he represents right there was amazing.
Yeah, Inarius is a force, to be sure. And you know, it's so cool to be able to tell the story in a way that we can have really multifaceted characters that have real motivations, you know, like you were saying, but also be able to represent the raw power of some of these characters like Inarius. Like when you think about that shot of Inarius' wings, you know, getting to see them over the army there, and
like spreading out super wide.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, angel wings have been such a beautiful part of Diablo games for a long time. You know, I think back to the scene with Tyrael in the World Stone and how his wings were represented there. The way that they can move, they have kind of this quality that you know, I don't think I've seen any other wings, angel wings, that are represented quite this way. They're just incredible.
Yeah, they feel very iconic to our angels in Diablo, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they're not just visually cool; they're also functional. You can see in the
Hello,
cinematic
Pei.
we just showed, when he lands, he actually impales a number of fallen off screen with his wings.
Yeah, this is honestly one of my favorite parts, where he's just like coming down and the fallen are in awe, and obviously he's just impaling them, and his feet landing on the ground, and like the amount of impact he has while doing a soft landing is just insane. You can tell he's got something on his mind. He clearly has an objective, wants to most definitely go towards it. It's just insane to see the power that's behind him. And I think one of my other favorite moments is the kind of the pulse he sends out. That like completely brightens up hell.
Wir wissen jetzt, wie viel die Collectors Box kostet,
like
ungefähr.
by it, but it's got this unique sound to it, and like a little bit of like fun
Und
Diablo
dass die
lore is
Add-ons
that, like,
nichts
you know,
kosten werden an
angels
sich.
in Diablo are beings of
Aber
light, and the sound and like the resonance are all tuned to the crystal arch, and it's almost like you're hearing his unique sound that he actually sends out, which
beginnt erst ein paar Wochen nach dem Release. Das heißt, jeder hat die Chance, am gleichen Zeitpunkt zu starten. Ab 8 Dates, sorry.
There's so much in regards to the story between Inarius and Lilith, and you know, it's weird to also think that Inarius is also kind of was originally serving under Tyrael.
Ja, und diese Battle Pass-Dinger sind wirklich nur Kosmetik und keine
Power.
Power.
To reveal that we're going to be doing here over the next, you know, couple months as we lead up to launch,
Ja,
and of
Quartal.
course people jump into the game for the Diablo 4 story. But that cinematic was phenomenal for sure. The next big thing that we did want to talk about, and this is a huge part, because this is actually kind of a new thing that a lot of the community may have heard of, but probably don't have full details on, and that is the Codex of Power.
Oh yeah, Codex of Power.
Yes, the Codex of Power is a brand new feature that's coming into Diablo 4. It's a gameplay feature, and Mr. Joseph Pipora.
Oh yeah.
Can give us a little bit more details.
I'll talk about this. So this is one of those things I would have loved to be able to talk about in a blog a while ago, but we weren't quite ready to reveal it at that time, and there was already so many things for us to discuss. So the Codex of Power is this new crafting feature that we'll bring online in Diablo 4. We're really, really excited about it. What it allows players to do is, as they're progressing through this, the massive interconnected world of Sanctuary, they're going to be discovering lots and lots of dungeons as they go. And when they find these dungeons and they delve deep into them, at the bottom of them, they're going to find what we call Codex of Power aspects. And an aspect in the Codex of Power is effectively a legendary power that's been put in this very particular form. And every one of these dungeons that players progress through in the overworld has a unique legendary power via the aspect found inside of them.
Yeah. What I love about that is that you can create a new character, and you can look at some of the powers that are available through these dungeons and say, okay, I really want to target this power. I'm going to go to this dungeon, get that power. So you're less dependent on well, I hope this power drops.
Absolutely. So there are limitations in place, but Joe, to your point, that is basically the intent here, right? Is to give players some manner and measure of control over the nature of their build as they're beginning to go through those steps. But the Codex of Power is a way for them to basically take these aspects, and then they're able to go back to a crafter back in one of the major cities, our new occultist crafter, actually. And when they go to the occultist, they can hand off actually, we're showing it right now. Our sorcerer's friend has just earned aspect of overwhelming bolts, which is going to allow her charge bolts ability to go and fire 2 more projectiles with each cast. She's going for an up close and personal melee lightning build. Mm-hmm. So this shotgun approach for her spender is going to be really, really useful. More bolts, more damage, definitely very good. Minor trade-off with the mana cost, but still what ends up being worth it in the end. Here we can see that the sorceress is now heading over to the occultist and is going to be choosing to imbue this aspect into one of their existing items. So she takes the item. So you're looking at a lot of work in progress stuff that we're looking at here, because this is a live cast. We'd like to be able to show some things off. You have an opportunity to go and basically override the existing legendary power on this and put in the new power they've just collected to the Codex of Power. Mm-hmm. So in this way, players get this deterministic way to kind of collect a series of these legendary powers that are out there in the game for them to find, but it's not all of them. You can only find some of the legendary powers overall in the game. There are over 120 dungeons in the game. So this represents a lot of really exciting and interesting things for you to collect as you're going through these areas. Also, you don't just find legendary powers for your class. You'll find legendary powers for all of the classes as you go, and some ones that can work on multiple classes as well. And then we think this is really cool because every time you find an aspect through one that you can put into your Codex of Power, this is now available to all characters in that realm. So, for sake of argument, if we're playing in Season 1, every character that you'd make, let's say you're playing your sorceress first, and you go find a whole bunch of werewolf, druid, based aspects as you're playing. When you go and you want to build a new werewolf character or a new druid character, you have all those aspects to play with from level 1 as soon as you want to start kind of leveling up gear and getting into a position where you can make use of them. So we love this idea of making it so it's easier to go play with other builds.
Yeah, I love too how we've really been thinking about crafting in Diablo 4, and I love how the occultist figures into that crafting, right? Because when we think about legendaries in Diablo 4, what we're really talking about is the legendary power. And that legendary power can be moved around. You can use it to upgrade rares, and the occultist is sort of the central point of all of that crafting loop.
That's absolutely right. So that was one big change we add with, and we've talked about in previous blogs before. But one big change in Diablo 4 is allowing legendary powers of a particular type to roll on lots of different item slots, which gives players an interesting game of deciding where they want to place certain powers to make the maximum use of them for their builds. Now, the Codex lets them put them on the slots that are appropriate for that power. They can choose, right? But another limitation for the Codex power, in addition to not actually having the ability to collect all of legendary powers in the game, there's many, many more for you to find as you're playing through Diablo 4. Those powers also are always rolled at the lowest level of power possible. So it is always better for you to go find a legendary item that has the power that you're interested in, and then you can choose to use that item directly or extract the power from that item into an aspect crystal, then go and imprint into your own item of your choosing. So those legendary items you find out in the world are always going to end up being more powerful as a general rule.
Yeah, I really like the idea that no matter what, like finding stuff is still going to lead to like potentially the best opportunity of getting the most amount of power. But you still have the customization ability of being able to, you know what, I found this power. I would still like to use this on another piece of gear and add that within the Codex of Power, and you still can.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's great about it. Exactly to that point is that you can have, let's say that you are leveling up and you get a legendary power that you really love, and you start to sort of make your build around it. With the Codex of Power, you can acquire new gear, and in fact through essences as well. And you can extract, you can bring that power with you, so you can maintain that build. So you're not sort of losing a core part of your build as you're getting new gear.
Yeah, and the fun thing about this is that we do want players, as they're beginning to go through their class phase, they're making their skill tree
Boah, sehen
selection.
die Pylonen cool aus,
They're
Leute.
going deeper and deeper into this. They're making their fun choices. We do want them to be able to still want to chase certain other powers. Like, for example, for this, like, kind of like melee-focused lightning build, the player here is participating in right now. Like, there are other powers that they really, really want for this build. Like, there's a lightning bolt legendary that's going to allow lightning warp legendary. It's going to allow them to have the sphere basically orbit around them as part of combat, which, as you can see, would be awesome when they're teleporting into packs of monsters and trying to deal damage when they're up and close and personal.
Yeah.
So there's lots more things for that lightning sword to collect as they're going through, and then hopefully find the very best versions of those legendary powers as well as just find in the first place.
Yeah, so I know with the Codex of Power, this is kind of a new feature that's coming in Diablo 4, and we'll have more information and more details regarding like different parts of the Codex of Power and the different powers you can end up finding and so forth to imbue onto actual weapons or gear in general here in the future. Plus other mechanics and other systems that I know people have been talking about and wanting to know more about here in the future. But I did want to leave some time for some Q&A because I know we've had a lot of different questions that we've seen pop over the community here in the especially in the last week with all the announcements that we've actually had related to Diablo 4. And so I wanted to make sure that we spent some time on those. So we did collect a lot of these questions through different community channels, like some of our forums on like D3, D2R, where people are posting about Diablo 4 there, to Reddit. Some of our these questions actually came from like social media or even our content creators that actually do focus in on Diablo. So let's kind of like jump into a few of these specific questions if we can.
Nee.
So first one we have is like, what learnings did you guys apply from other Diablo games to Diablo 4?
Yeah, this is a great question because when you think about the history of the Diablo IP of all the games that have come, what we wanted to do is capture the things that players loved about each of those entries in the series. And when you think about,
Fletzes auf dem
we
Hemd
really
schon.
thought about how Diablo 1 really
Sieht aus
established
wie-
sort of this tone of gothic horror, this really dark tone that was quite different from other things that you would see at the time. And we wanted to carry that forward and recapture that in Diablo 4. And then when we look again, what do players love and hold close to their hearts in Diablo 2? And we really wanted to capture that essence of having systems that unfold out and have all of this depth and ability to look at it and nuance and think to yourself, okay, well, I'm really going to learn all of the details of this, and I'm gonna by having a deep understanding of this, I'm going to optimize my character in ways that people who don't understand these nuances will miss, and I will feel like, oh, I really am optimizing through this system in that.
Yeah,
really
the character's really like an expression of the choices you've made while you're leveling up and like making interesting decisions, right? Like
that's a great point.
It's really, really important. A lot more of that power is based on decisions that players made along the way.
Character power on the character itself versus
just stuff that you
the
wear.
itemization. Absolutely. And of course, when we think about Diablo 3, we think about the fluidity of combat, that sort of action aspect of the action RPG. The
It feels
moment-to-moment
really good to kill
gameplay.
monsters in Diablo 3.
Yeah, and Diablo 3 added so much to not just the player cast interactions. When you talk about hit frames and contact frames and all of the sort of nitty gritty of how that smoothness is achieved. but also the effects on the monsters exploding, various ways that monsters can die, death kits, all of those kinds of things. And we wanted to make sure that we represented that in Diablo 4 and even at a grander scale. I mean, if you can't behead a fallen, then what are we even doing here?
Yeah, what are we even doing here?
Exactly. Cool. For the next question we have, as I'm like dodging the camera and so forth, how does the Battle Pass work and how long does it go for? I know we talked a little bit about Battle Pass, but I think this is actually a really good question as well.
Yeah, it's a great question. So the Battle Pass will last for the entire duration of a season, and a season is 3 months.
Yep.
So you'll have plenty of time to work your way through the Battle Pass. Active players are going to have no problem with that. You're not going to run out of
Also
time.
der Battle Pass,
Yep. And you'll be earning progress, like I
3
mentioned
Monate.
before, by completing content in the season journey, but also just by like killing monsters, going through dungeons, completing quests. Like everything you do is be slowly earning progress towards your Battle Pass progress.
Yeah, and I know that because we talked about season journey beforehand and so forth, and again, that's just an opportunity for people who even don't have the Battle Pass will still have an opportunity of actually going through a season journey similar to what they kind of experienced with Diablo 3 and earning things and so forth from that specific moment as well.
Oh, I want to call it one more thing because I think there's another question here that sometimes is kind of asked, which is like, how long am I expected to like play in order to like progress through the Battle Pass? And like that's like close to like between 75 hours ish. Like it's in that kind of realm for the most part. And this is important because we don't want you to think like you hear that there's a Battle Pass that's going to last for 3 months. Am I expected to play every single day for 4 hours for 3 months? Like that's not how this works. We really want people to engage with it at a pace that is appropriate to you and feel that you've got the time necessary to like really go through the whole thing.
Cool. Next question that we have here is when does the first season of Diablo 4 actually start?
That's right. So we'll be able to share more details about the exact dates of when the season starts, along with more details about the first season, what kind of exciting things you're going to get to see coming soon. But the key thing to know is that the game will launch in a preseason mode.
Yes.
And the season will start some weeks after that.
Yeah, and so for those that do end up pre-ordering again on the digital deluxe or the ultimate version, they have the early access period. Your early access will be within the preseason, so it's not an opportunity to get a leg up over other people in regards to that first season for Diablo 4.
Yeah, I really want to make sure people have time to like really play through and enjoy the campaign and see all this content before they get ready to start fresh in season 1.
Exactly.
Next question: if I want to play Diablo 4 on PC and console, do I need to purchase the game for each platform?
Yes, so you do need to purchase the game for each platform that you want to play on.
Correct.
But the all of your progression, you can play between platforms, and all of your progression is cross-platform as well.
Yeah, and just to reiterate as well is that if you do buy the premium Battle Pass for like PC and you also play on Xbox, for instance, your Battle Pass does carry over because it is part of your BattleNet account. So you'll end up progressing both on whichever platform that you actually do play on. You don't need to purchase a Battle Pass for each specific platform for each time you're playing on like PlayStation or on Xbox and on PC.
That's right.
Cool. Will familiar Diablo items be returning to Diablo 4? Sorry, I'm like ducking around.
They will. Joe,
Yeah.
I think you have some.
Yeah, so like I mean, there are a ton that are returning. There's Shaco's coming back, Windforce is coming back, Grandfather's coming back. There's like Mage Fist is coming back.
And these are unique items.
So,
right?
yeah, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, so the that's a really good call-out. So there are legendary items we talked a little bit before. They're that have like really particular powers, and then there are unique items that are much more powerful than legendary items are. Now, legendary powers can show up on any slot. Unique items come with like a pretty fixed loadout of like types of affixes that could appear on that thing, and then what the special power is tied to the unique item on its own. And they're really they're difficult to find. They're really rare. They're fun chase items, and you can really build exciting builds around some of these things. But we've taken a lot of the ideas from these items from previous games, kind of reinterpreted them to make sure they work with Diablo 4, but tried to retain that thematic essence to them. Like it's been an exciting challenge for the team to kind of go after and try to bring in.
Ich meine
Yeah, we have a ton.
Diablo items returning.
And,
Fan favorites.
And a lot of new things too. So there's a mixture of both, but you will see some returning favorites.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I think that is the end of our questions that we have there, specifically that we ended up grabbing. I know that we wanted to make sure that we had enough time and so forth. And but I did want to thank you guys for joining, and thank you guys obviously for joining us on our last live stream. But I'm gonna throw you guys before we leave some quick, like, fast-paced shotgun questions, because I want to make sure that we have all these and everything like
Sounds
that.
good.
I'd be curious to know favorite class in Diablo 4 for each of you.
Okay,
Rogue.
fine. I'm sorry.
Rogue.
Rogue. Okay, so that was easy. I guess Barbarian, but I think in terms of specs. So I could just talk for the 5 minutes, but no, Barbarian right now.
Yeah, you're right. There's so many cool mechanics. Like when I say rogue, I'm thinking about the idea of being a rogue and running around. Like
I will say Rogue is incredibly fun. Like plays like like it's if you want a fast, like agile character that like is dancing around like everything.
Yeah, it doesn't disappoint
It
mechanically.
is the most. I would say that and the Necromancer are probably the two most fun and flashy like characters. Well, actually, I would say also even the Sorceress is flashy just because of all the spell effects and everything. So
Again, there's builds I love on all of the classes.
I personally I'm a Druid fanboy. Always have been.
Bear, werewolf.
Actually, I've really enjoyed like the elemental specs
nature,
and so
yeah.
forth. Yeah,
Storm
so,
is so strong.
Storm is so fun.
We're gonna nerf Storm, everybody.
Just because I said something.
Just because we said it was good. So we're gonna go. We're not gonna just nerf Storm. Don't worry about that.
I'd be curious to know favorite enemy in Diablo 4. Maybe
favorite enemy.
Yeah. Or
Let's
enemy family.
see. Enemy family. Wow. I love I love what we were able to do with the Bloodcasters. There was actually an enemy in Diablo 2 under
hockt nog
the
drauf.
city that is this vampire caster, very tall and thin and floating. And we were able to reimagine that in Diablo 4. And it moves by turning into bats. And it can form out of bats. So if you get a lot of bats in one area, it can turn into one of these casters.
Wait, did it move in Diablo 2 as bats?
No,
Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, like I always it's so hard to tell with like D2 because it's like usually you find them in like catacombs or something like that, and it's really dark. And maybe they have been, and I have had no idea. But yeah.
Yeah, for me it's Drowned. Like the whole monster family for the Drowned, I really like. There's something about like the like these pale, clammy, like seaside monsters rising up from the waters. And one of the things that's really fun is like they're really like strange and mysterious in the world. And I really gravitate towards that. Like, they're covered with barnacles, they've got like all kind of like broken parts of like sunken sea vessels they use in combat. They just swarm all over the place. Often you'll find like you're in slick areas where it's raining when you have to actually encounter them. Like they're a super fun group of monsters to fight. And they've got some neat, a lot of their brute has some like really neat abilities you have to like trying to like dodge and avoid. They're very dangerous. So yeah, they're my favorite I think right now.
Nice. What's a fun fact you guys encountered while developing Diablo 4?
fun fact developing Diablo 4. I'm going to throw it to Joe. What I think.
What do you
Sure.
think?
So a fun fact I learned while developing Diablo 4, that it is very, very important while we're allowing players to like make a lot of choices and they're thinking about the way they like make like really interesting character for themselves, that we unveil that kind of slowly initially. Otherwise, we have a tendency to like get people like really like scared about making choices, and they kind of clam up, which is obviously not what we want. We want people to like be able to engage with these kinds of features. So it's maybe not like a fun fact, but I think it was very, very interesting. We went through a lot of iterations to get to the right place. I'm really happy with where we landed.
Yeah, now I have to give a serious answer.
No, I'm sorry. I should have given I should have given some other fun fact.
No. I think it's better.
Okay.
You know, I think
It's
we
better,
went
folks.
through we went through a lot of iteration on the first skill when you start out in the very beginning of Diablo 4. For a while, you started with one of your classes, left click, basic skills, and we had a lot of trouble with having that skill that we'd chosen for you, feeling like, well, I guess I should build a spec around this, because it's just you start with it, you're familiar with
Jahrhundert,
it,
Jahrtausend.
and it sort of constrained your ability to explore the skill tree.
Yeah. So like if Sork started with like Firebolt, for example, like a lot of people that were testing would just make fire like spec sorcerers. They wouldn't think about like trying other skills. So
we ended up going with a basic. We ended up adding fairly late in development a basic attack that you start with, so that when you get your first level up, you actually get to choose, okay, well, which spec do I want to start with? And of course, you can respec within the skill tree pretty freely. So
Yeah, and I remember that when it was originally like that, and thankfully we test internally and so forth. We get our own feedback from within the team of what people are actually doing from that end. Of course, and last but not least, the most controversial question: Team Inarius or Team Lilith?
Team Inarius. Even though I'm wearing my Lilith shirt.
That's
actually really funny. I guess still Team Lilith. I think I'm still Team Lilith. Yeah.
We're split. I won't break the tiebreaker here. We will keep the poll at 50-50.
Trying to stay very neutral here.
I will stay neutral here. I will choose Team Bale. There we go.
Team Bale.
It's behind me. It's perfect. Uncle Bale.
Uncle
Bale. It's perfect. Great. Well, I think that kind of wraps up our time here today on the developer update stream. I do want to note that we thank everyone again for tuning in for our first developer update stream. This has actually been kind of a crazy process of getting a studio up back in the building, and I'm happy that we can call this home for our streams going forward. We do have a lot of Diablo activities that are going on that we've announced or will announce here, I'll say in a second, for the whole entire franchise. If you are a big fan of Diablo Immortal or a player of Diablo Immortal, we just had a huge update for 1.7 come out yesterday. It's massive. It's probably our biggest update yet. So I do recommend checking it out. Lots of big narrative moments and whole new areas that kind of expand the campaign in Diablo Immortal, as well as a lot of quality of life features that the community's been asking for. So been hearing a lot of great positive feedback, and we're excited that that's out right before the holidays. And then D2R, earlier this week, we announced 22 Nights of Terror. It's an in-game event that essentially changes the game every single day, and it's kind of a surprise. Think of it like a Diablo advent calendar, you could say. So that actually started earlier this week. And for Diablo 3 fans, we actually have a new holiday event. This is a brand new event for Diablo 3 that I'm really excited to.
Yeah, you've been working hard on this.
Our D3 team has been working really hard, and they're working really hard on the next season. And we'll actually be revealing that tomorrow on the blog. So make sure to tune in for that. And we'll also have news related to, of course, the Darkening of Tristram, which happens every single year for Diablo 3 and when that will be occurring. So make sure to check out Diablo3.com from that side. Any parting words from you guys specifically?
Yeah. I really wanted to thank everyone for tuning in today and following us throughout the year. It's been a big year for us, as I was saying earlier. A ton of work getting all the content into the game, setting us up for next year, setting us up for release. We've got a lot of bugs to fix in the new year. We've got to make sure that our server architecture and infrastructure is in good shape for our betas coming up, and our release as well. So some work ahead of us, and we have a lot of exciting stuff to share next year as well, through some of these live streams, more of these live streams. But you're not going to hear from us for a little while, because we're all going to take some time off to be with our families for the holidays and really take a break from Diablo 4. Just not think about Diablo 4 for a little bit.
A restful holiday period for the team, for sure.
Sometimes we have builds up, people to sort of log in and continue to play, not this time. We're killing all the builds for the holidays and forcing everyone to not be on Diablo for a little while. Be good.
Any parting words?
Shout outs to the various Diablo updates we have coming down the road. I recommend everyone take some time to play some World of the Warcrafts, because Dragonflight is rad, really fun. But for the community itself, I think that this has been a huge year for the Diablo team, much as Joe has already said. We're really excited to be able to just finally start sharing more and more about where the game is at and what we've been thinking about and what we value. It's been awesome talking to press. I really can't wait to just keep this conversation going. I think this is going to be the best thing for everybody, both for the dev team to be able to get this feedback and hear the sorts of things that you're interested in. Also, just make sure that we're regularly talking to you so you know what to expect and you know what where our heads are at. So I'm really excited about that. So thank you for sticking with us this long, and hopefully everyone enjoyed all the things that happened over the course of this last couple months.
Yeah, and like I said, this is kind of the new way that we're going to be communicating out to the community through these developer update streams. We're super excited for them, especially as we get into next year. We have way more information to reveal, including details next year, early next year, about the open beta and when that will actually be starting as well. So again, thank you everyone for tuning in, and I just want to say happy holidays, and we'll see you guys next year from the Diablo team. Thanks again.
Bye, bye. So, Leute. Was sagt ihr? Naja. Ja, aber du musst nicht 2 Battle Pass-Geschichten kaufen. Die reichen für deinen ganzen Blizzard-Konten. Also für dein Blizzard-Konto. So. Und der Battle Pass dauert so lange wie die Season. Finde ich auch gut. Odin schnarcht. Ich will mal fragen, wo bist du denn? Warum schnarchst du? Der schnarcht. Keine Ahnung, wo er ist. Aber du hast doch uns Pay. Fand ich auch. Also ich muss ganz ehrlich sagen, mir hat das jetzt ganz gut gefallen. Ich finde auch gut, dass sie die Kommunikation auf diesem Wege weiterführen wollen nächstes Jahr, weil ich diese Livestreams eigentlich wirklich gut finde. Ja. Okay. Aber so im Großen und Ganzen fand ich diese News echt nicht schlecht. Natürlich ist es viel, Wogen glätten. Die Leute sind sehr aufgebracht. Die Leute sind halt sehr darauf aus. Sie haben halt schlechte Erfahrungen mit Immortal gemacht. Ja. So. Mein Real Life, Social Life. Aber ich bin doch auch real. Also, ich kaufe nicht im Real, aber ich bin real. Ja, klar. Ja, es hat funktioniert und der Kater schnarcht, das irritiert mich. Das höre ich sogar durch meine Kopfhörer. Schnarchnase. Hallo, wo bist du? Warum machst du das? Warum sitzt du da? Oh, der sitzt dahinter, hinter meinem PC. Aber ich denke, die Leute sind halt sehr, Odin, ja, Schnarchnase. Liegt hinterm PC neben der Heizung und grunzt vor sich hin. 5% generieren halt 80% der Umsätze. Ja, es war ein guter Schachzug. Ja, ohne Frage. Und es gibt genug Leute, die das gerne spielen und ich will mir da auch nichts anmaßen. Jeder muss das für sich selbst entscheiden. Mir liegt das Spiel nicht. Aber natürlich, jeder soll spielen, was er gerne möchte. Ja, Wonko, ich habe das schon gesehen. Der sieht uns nicht als sozial. Ich merke das schon. Aber ich bin real. Nee, aber so im Großen und Ganzen fand ich die News wirklich gut. Die Erklärungen waren gut. Natürlich muss man sagen, ist halt auch viel sehr neutral gesagt worden und es ist ein bisschen was offen geblieben. Aber ich finde die Infos erstmal gut. Es startet nicht sofort eine Season. Wir haben alle Zeit, uns in dieses Spiel reinzugrooven, uns die Story anzugucken, uns alles genau zu beleuchten. Und ich denke, das ist gar nicht so übel. Also es gibt keinen Vorteil mit den 4 Tagen früher. Für Leute, die das jetzt nicht sich gekauft haben. Das finde ich sehr gut. Ja, ich bin auch mega gespannt auf die Story. Ich finde halt das, was man jetzt bisher schon gesehen hat vom Gameplay, ja, ich fühle mich zu Hause. Ich finde das schön. Ja, ich bin wirklich gespannt. Ich muss auch sagen, ich freue mich drauf. Wir haben jetzt noch 6 Monate. Ich denke, die vergehen schnell. Hoffe ich. Wenn wir genug Diablo 3 spielen und es reinhängen, morgen bekommen wir wahrscheinlich neue Infos, wie ich das mitbekommen habe. Wenn ich das richtig gedeutet habe, gibt es was Spezielles extra für die Feiertage. Vielleicht wieder doppelte Bounty-Kisten. Und dann werden wir uns das morgen angucken, würde ich sagen. Weil solange D4 noch nicht da ist, spielen wir D3. Immer fleißig. So sehe ich das. Ich muss das alles erstmal. Ja, Bounties. Naja, aber wenn es doppelt gibt, dann ist das schon gut. Ja, vielleicht mache ich dann mal 1, 2 Stück. Jedenfalls fügen sie in den Battle Pass die 3 nach. Ich hoffe es nicht. Oh, das ist schon 3 Tage her. Drei Tage. Aber ich bin nur kleine Portale gelaufen. Und ich muss da unbedingt noch ranklotzen. Aber wie wir ja gehört haben, neue Season, wir werden sehen. Wenn nicht, muss ich mich beeilen. Um Gottes Willen. Das wird super. Und morgen ist Freitag, morgen gibt es Community. Das heißt, wer mitspielen möchte, kann gerne morgen mitspielen. Und dann gucken wir mal ein bisschen, was wir gewuppt kriegen. Würde mich wirklich freuen. Wenn wir uns zusammen so ein bisschen durch die Greater Rifts boxen. Naja, wir boxen ja nicht. Ihr wisst schon. Wir tüddeln da so ein bisschen rum. Da freue ich mich drauf. Die Infos, die wir jetzt bekommen haben, die muss ich jetzt erstmal sacken lassen. Ich fand vieles gut. Ich fand vieles so ein bisschen schwammig. Muss aber ganz ehrlich sagen, ich freue mich drauf. Ich habe wirklich, wirklich Bock. Ich muss halt sagen, dass die Collectors Box mir unwahrscheinlich gut gefällt. So rein optisch. Ich meine, da sind Kerzen drin. Hallo, ich bin eine Frau, ich mag Kerzen. Die haben auch eine schöne Größe gehabt. Also, ihr wisst schon, die waren schön. Die kann man sich gut hinstellen. Blizzard kann Cinematic ja, ja. Ja, zumindest machen sie sich Gedanken um die Server und solche Geschichten. Also, sie scheinen das im Auge zu haben. Ob sie was dran ändern, weiß ich nicht. Aber es steht auf der Liste. Und wir wissen alle, so eine Liste ist mega. Ich habe auch welche. Das hört sich nach Weihnachtsgeschenk an. Nee, ich habe ja doch mein Weihnachtsgeschenk bekommen. Ich habe ja die große Nummer gekriegt für das Spiel. Forderung sein. Nee, ich krieg nie alles umsonst. Nee. Leider nicht. Aber die Box ist echt hübsch. Also ich mag die Kerzen. Ich mag das Bildband. Ich mag die. Oh, das war alles schön. Ich finde die Stoffkarte auch schön. Das mit dem Server, glaube ich, ja auch nicht. Dafür muss Chaos noch ein wenig wachsen, bis die Kisten droppen, ja. Nee, ich habe keinen Streamer-Bonus. Ich bin ja noch klein. Wenn man so bedenkt, ich mache ja Diablo 3 als festen Content ja noch gar nicht so lange. Bin auch froh, dass ich so mutig war, das zu tun, weil Diablo 3 macht mir immer noch Spaß. Aber ich muss ganz ehrlich sagen, ich freue mich unwahrscheinlich auf Diablo 4. Dieses ganze neue Ding mit euch kennenzulernen, reinzuwachsen, Erfahrungen zu sammeln. Froggy, gute Nacht, schlaf gut. Und einfach ein neues Spiel mit euch entdecken. Und darauf freue ich mich so unwahrscheinlich. Ja, und das wird episch. Das wird ein episches Jahr. Also nächstes Jahr. Dieses Jahr war schon episch. Nächstes Jahr wird noch epischer. Epischer? Ihr wisst schon. Was? D4, CE, 110 Euro? Was? Collectors Edition, 110. Okay. Nee, dann bin ich raus. Ja. Das ist zu teuer. Das ist für mich persönlich zu teuer. Wow. Aber die haben doch was von 69, 99, ist egal. Naja, gut. Vielleicht habe ich auch irgendwas falsch verstanden. Nee, von dem habe ich das Spiel gekriegt mit dem Bausatz. Es geht nicht. Machen wir nicht. Man sollte nicht zu gierig sein. Und ganz ehrlich, es ist nur eine Kerze. Mm-mm. Nee, nee, nee. 110. Nee. Nee, 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 nee. Es ist schön. Aber die Hauptsache ist, dass wir das Spiel haben und dass wir Zeit miteinander verbringen können. Nächstes Jahr wird hübsch, habe ich ja gesagt. Wir haben nächstes Jahr so viel zu tun. Nö. Bongo, wurde nicht. Und für mich, ich werde nächstes Jahr 40. Ja, darf man keinem erzählen, aber ich werde 40. Wir haben so viel nächstes Jahr vor. Das wird ein wundervolles Jahr. Also, da freue ich mich wirklich schon drauf. Ja, ja. Nee, ich bin nicht 29 plus, ich werde 40. Ja. Und da bin ich jetzt halt auch schon überlegen. Ich meine, es ist noch ein bisschen hin, aber ich habe an einem Mittwoch Geburtstag. Das heißt, es kann sein, dass ich vielleicht abends streame. Und weil in meinen Geburtstag rein mag ich nicht. Ich mag lieber so, tada, ich habe Geburtstag. Obwohl ich meinen Geburtstag nicht mag. Aber ihr wisst schon, was ich meine. Ich hätte euch ja gern dabei. Daher werde ich wahrscheinlich an dem Mittwoch dann streamen. Das genaue Datum verrate ich jetzt aber noch nicht. Und dann gibt es keinen Karaoke-Stream. Du weißt es, ja, ich weiß, dass du es weißt. Ja, aber es wird ein wundervolles Jahr. Ich freue mich drauf. Aber ich freue mich jetzt auch auf morgen. Wir machen morgen Community-Runden. Ich werde gucken, dass ich die Infos mir vorher abgreife. Ich werde sie im Discord reinsetzen. Falls es dazu kommt, dass wir die Infos während des laufenden Streamkriegs, werde ich natürlich dort auch Bescheid geben. Und ja, ich freue mich. Just Dance, nein. Nein. Dann lieber Karaoke. Glaube ich. Vielleicht. Aber uns wird schon was einfallen. Das Einzige, was ich weiß, es wird nicht Fall Guys. Es wird nicht Fall Guys oder irgendeine andere schnubbelpubbelbunte Geschichte. Was jetzt? Mr. Striker, fall mir nicht in den Rücken. Es wird böse enden. So, ihr Lieben, dann würde ich sagen, wir beenden hier den Stream. Odin, oh, der kann wundervoll singen. Und rumschreien. Karaoke, Nur wenn du mitmachst, Wonko. Ich mache mich hier nicht allein zum Klops. Der Striker muss singen, um Gottes Willen. Karaoke? Ei. Oh, das nimmt Ausmaße aus. Das habe ich so nicht gewollt. Wir haben ja noch ein bisschen Zeit. So ein Vierteljahr oder so. Uns wird schon was einfallen. Zur Not mache ich eine Umfrage oder keine Ahnung. Mir wird schon was einfallen. Wir werden das schon zu feiern wissen, irgendwie. Ich meine, ich werde 40, das wird man nur einmal. Familie Chaos Singstar. Um Gottes Willen, Rico. Nein. Schwierig. Vielleicht backe ich mit euch ein Brot. 29, ich weiß nicht. Auf eine Art muss ich sagen, ich habe ein bisschen Angst davor, dass die 4 vorsteht. Bin ich ehrlich. Es fühlt sich komisch an. Hat sich mit 30 auch schon komisch angefühlt. Aber Aber andererseits 29 nochmal sein möchte ich irgendwie auch nicht. Ich bin eigentlich froh, da zu sein, wo ich bin, mit dem, was ich erlebt habe, mit den Erfahrungen, die ich habe. Und es ist okay. Aber es tut trotzdem Not, dass man ab und zu mal so ein bisschen sagt, 40, ich mag nicht. Und ich fühle mich noch nicht so alt. Nee, ich fühle mich auch noch nicht so alt. Also heute nicht. Manchmal auch wie 90. Aber ihr wisst schon, was ich meine. Alter ist nur eine Zahl. So im Großen und Ganzen. Und der Rest wird sich finden. Und ich habe in dem letzten Jahr so viele neue, tolle Leute kennengelernt, auf die ich auf keinen Fall verzichten wollen würde. Daher, es ist okay. Es ist okay. Aber es ist auch okay zu jammern. Und es ist auch okay zu sagen, so, ich will nicht. Aber der Rest, es ist alles gut so. Und ich freue mich auf das neue Jahr. Dieses Jahr war wundervoll und das nächste wird auch toll. Solange ihr da seid, wird es immer gut sein. Daher würde ich sagen, wir sehen uns morgen wieder. Pünktlich um 20 Uhr. Ihr könnt gerne mitspielen. Also wir machen eine offene Runde. Und schlaf gut, träumt was Schönes. Wir sehen uns morgen. Das Chaos ist raus, Leute.